welcome. Good evening. And we have another episode of the AlexAndMo Podcast. And tonight, our guest is Miss Colleen Rapp from Colorado. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a moment to do so now. And you can take the time to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you to all those who have subscribed so far. If you love the content that we've been putting out, go share it with a friend, family, colleague. This is season 2, second episode. Welcome, Colleen. Thank you for joining Alex and I.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks you, Mo. Can I call you Mo?
Sure, that's my name.
That's
Once you call me Mo, we're good. We're good. That means we're good.
A lot of people call me Coco, so it's kind of the
Coco.
same.
Okay.
Coco.
Well, welcome to the show, Coco.
Oh, thank you, Mo. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, taking time out of your, I'm sure, busy schedule to hop on with us tonight. Very excited. Obviously, you have been a big supporter of our profession. I think tonight's episode will be very interesting to see, through the eyes of a consumer, somebody who's experienced what we do as a profession, and can kind of give us the feedback that would be beneficial. I mean, I know that you've been, what's the word I'm looking for? You've been, you were awarded an award, I believe, for just kind of your enthusiasm for the profession. Obviously, Jerry, who's been a former guest of ours, speaks very highly of you. I've seen, obviously your support on Twitter. And first of all, thank you very much, because we need more people like yourself to help us, because as I commonly, say on our show, we're still sitting at the kiddie table, in the big picture of medicine and healthcare. We don't have a seat yet at the big grown-up table with the decisions and the impacts that we can have on people's lives. So, people like yourself are the ones that can help us get to that level. So, long way away, just saying thank you very much, first and foremost.
You're welcome.
I think that award was the Friends of the Private Practice award, right? That you received last year.
Yeah. So what's really cool about it is I think, and I'm not really sure, but in the past, a lot of maybe organizations and people, have won it. It's really cool that I was the first patient that ever won it for just being an advocate and doing like years and years and years of work just to help out students, to bring awareness, and just to really just make people realize that you guys matter. Alex, you just said you're not on a big platform, but to a patient, you are a big platform. Because when I come to PT, I, as a patient, rely on all of you to help me get through my rehab. And when I'm sitting there, I look at so many patients that are so happy with their physical therapist and believe in them. And I read stories. I read a story the other day of how even Patrick Mahomes, when he hurt his ankle, his physical therapist got him through that. So I do believe you're on a big platform. I don't believe you're recognized as, the most important people, but you are. To me, you guys are my heroes, and you should be recognized in the medical field because you guys are what's important. I had 2 surgeries before on my shoulders, and I have done really well because I believed in my care. I believed in my PT, and I put that care into my life every day, and I'm successful. So I believe getting that platform out will put you guys to be recognizable and deserve to have the recognition of the hope that you give everybody, because you give a ton of people hope. And that's my opinion. So
Did you know about physical therapy before you ever received physical therapy?
I've heard of it, and I had gone a couple times, and I didn't really believe in it because I don't think I received the right care. It was like a couple times, and I left, and it was like then this is kind of like a joke, you know? It didn't really give me the right perspective until I fell in 2014 and hurt my back and I could hardly walk. And I was put into care of a physical therapist at CU Anschutz. And I worked with her for like almost a year and a half. And even when after my care, she worked with me for maybe 2 years on a fitness program to learn how to incorporate everything in my life. So I learned that physical therapy was important, and it was important to the patient to put hope into that care. And I had to do the work and I had to believe. But the physical therapist also inspired me to do that. So I think that's a lot of it too. If you go to a physical therapist and it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes and it's not a good, what do you call it, a good impression, then you're not going to do the work. So, but if you have good care, it'll pack you for your life. Do you know I still do everything that I was taught every day? Because I still want to, my shoulder was hurting me the other day and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this exercise and I remember this. And it changed my life and I'm a better person because of it. So.
Well, good care is subjective. So in your opinion and from your experience, because you shared that at first it seemed like it was a joke to you. What
Right.
about that made it a joke, and what is it that you valued with the therapist that made you continue to that empowered you to continue with your exercise program even after discharge?
Well, I think I thought it was a joke because I really never had been hurt, and so I heard other people that I work with didn't really have good experiences. And then when I went one time, I didn't have a very good experience. But then when I was really hurt and I really learned that physical therapy was what was important in my injury. You go to a doctor and they say, go to a physical therapist, and how good I do at that physical therapist is the outcome I'm going to have. Maybe it will stop me from having surgery. Maybe it will make me stronger. My physical therapist just taught me to kind of maybe understood what was wrong with me, tried to determine whether I wanted to get better and do my best and work with her to recover, and made it and kind of made me realize that this was a life thing. If I didn't recover right, then my injury could impact me the whole rest of my life, you know? And so the harder I worked and the more I learned, and even to this day of being healthy and doing the things I'm supposed to, I'm just the best I can be. So to me, having a good physical therapist and having a better experience with a physical therapist that put in the effort for me too, made my rehab successful. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it does. I see so many people that have injuries that don't overcome them. And so to me, I'm an advocate because I know that physical therapy is important, so you have to embrace it. And I try to encourage physical therapists to be their best. Don't take the easy way out where you only have 30-minute sessions, or you know what I mean? Every patient matters. Every patient is relying on you. Your success is your patient's success. So take each patient and just remember that they're relying on you. And it is matters. It matters. So that's kind of a weird perspective, but
No, it's not. It's not. So what three top qualities should a student, a physical therapist possess to make a session valuable to any consumer?
I think the first is talking with your patient, learning that, they're scared. They don't. I mean, when I first went in and I hurt my back, I didn't even know a lot about my whole body. It kind of sounds funny, but I didn't even realize what was wrong with me. So the first thing is if you can educate me on what has happened to me and a little bit more than going into a doctor's office and saying, you did this, you got to go do this. And if you do this in 6 weeks, you might have this. So maybe have a relationship where you understand the injury and become friends. I don't say friends because, do you know what I mean? But have a good relationship. Second of all, I think trust. I think to trust each other, because I trust that person that they're going to take care of me and make me do the things I need to do to get better. And the third thing is I think always have hope in your patients, because your patients have that hope to succeed. So if you don't give them hope, then really what can you give them? So my three things are maybe very professional, but as a patient, it's when you walk in the room and you're scared and you don't know, those three things can make the difference in your care. So, but professionally, I think if I was like to say as a physical therapist, what should you do? I would say the number one thing is just be understanding. Just be understanding and treat each patient as an individual and not as a whole practice. You know, don't have one. What do you call it? One. Come on, Mo, give me the word. One.
A cookie cutter.
Yeah, don't be a
Thing.
cookie.
One size fit all. You know, onesies are in style now, so everybody wants to do one size fit all.
yeah, because not everybody's the same.
Exactly.
I can tell you, because you have a child, you have an adult, you might have a elder person. I can tell you that when I go in and I see the elder, I sit and talk to sometimes when I have someone right next to me, and I think the elder generation going into physical therapy, I think it totally changes their life. I think it gives them so much hope, gives them a little happiness in their life to know that somebody's really actually caring. And so I do believe, and I don't know, I do believe the relationship part of it. I think there's probably restrictions and stuff with rules, but when you come down to it, that 30 minutes or that 45 minutes I'm with that person, that's going to make all the difference in the world to what I do. So that's the only thing I can tell you is that I can give advice to. It's not that cookie cutter. It's not you should do this, you should do that, you should do this. You need to do what you need to build a relationship with that person so they can be the best they can be.
So, Colleen, to me, it sounds like you're saying being a better human being, being a receptive person, being a caring person is far more superior than any kind of technical skills. Obviously, those help, but if you can't connect with that person, you know, sitting across from you, next to you, whatever the case may be, then it is hard to build that trust. It is hard to have that friendship that you described, right? So, and I think a lot of times we get lost in, you know, the alphabet soup of letters behind our name, and you know, kind of what Jimmy said last week on our episode was, you know, don't tell me like who you are, tell me what you can do for me or for you in this case, right? Because it doesn't really matter that I'm a doctor of physical therapy. It doesn't really matter that I had my sports specialist certification. If I can't help you, if I can't meet you where you are, none of that matters.
Right. Have a little character, you know, I think that's the most thing. When I go to my PT, because I have a injury right now, I slipped on some ice and I have some tears in my Achilles. So I'm going through a pretty hard road right now. And every day I walk in, we say hi, we smile at each other, we talk for a minute, we laugh, and then we get to business. And we have the trust. And every time I don't miss, I go, because I have that trust and I have that hope. And
so you're saying if you have a great rapport with your therapist, cancellation rates are going to be down?
They're going to be awesome. They're going to be
See?
awesome. They're going to be awesome. I mean, I had such a good relationships with the PTs that I have, that I raise money for student funding. I'm such a big advocate. I yell out to the world, what a great profession you are, because you're technically, and I say this a lot, you're the most important thing between point of injury and health, and it's so true. And unless I do good in that in between, I don't have success. I don't have any success. And in my life, I'm so happy because, okay, so I'm 57. I've worked in a press room, which is a newspaper business, for 34 years. I work a very hard job. For maybe 20 of that years, I was just really wild and crazy. Didn't think I had to keep fit, and do the things I needed to do. I got some injuries. I learned that it's every day. I need to sleep good. I need to exercise. I need to do the right things. I need to take care of my body. I need to be the best I can be. My physical therapist taught me as a whole that I can be better. I need to be better to do my job. It was a physical job. And in life, I think people take that with their injury. Some people take it serious, some people don't. But if you go to the right physical therapist and you get the right care, I guarantee you that impacts their life. I think they remember it. And I think it's just success. I mean, and the problem of it is that you have so many patients and people that you impact that don't have a say. They can't, have a voice. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find ways to give people voices, because if the physical therapy world could give patients more voices, then you could reach that platform that you're looking at, Alex. You guys could reach that, because we are your ultimate success. We have the stories. We see you. You impact their lives. And it matters. It just matters. So,
But do you believe, Colleen, or Coco? I will call you Coco.
Coca. Okay.
My late great cousin, that was her name, Mama Coco. Um, Rest in peace, Miss Cora Panton. So, do you believe, as a profession, we have a clear, creative, captivating message or branding, so we could connect with consumers so they know what we do and what we can offer to them? Do you believe our message as physical therapists collectively is clear, it's creative, and it's captivating? And do we actually connect with people?
Honestly, um,
Honestly.
okay. As a whole, I probably don't believe so. I believe as individuals you do. I see individually all the time, but I think you're more, is it more as you're each individuals, you each have practices, you each do different things. I don't personally, to be honest with you, and I don't mean to offend anybody, I see you guys get together as a whole, but I don't see you advocate as a whole. I don't see that you put on a whole bunch of things as a whole, to make the patient better. Do you know what I mean? Or business. I think if you guys stuck together, it's kind of like this, and it's going to be a weird analogy. Okay.
We're
If
listening.
student funding, I'm I'm really big on student funding. If every physical therapist in the world, how many is there? 175,000 or something like that, gave $10 a month to a student scholarship, that's a ton of money. And that would change a student's life. That would change student scholarships if people did that. If all physical therapists were a little bit more together, I think there's like a lot of people show me their research and a lot of people do different things. But you asked me as a whole if I believe that you do it. And I can honestly tell you, I don't see that as a whole. And I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I think it would be a good thing as you did. I believe in one of my heart if you could have, I put out videos sometimes. I make videos, I make posters. Why don't you guys have posters of people? Why don't you have videos of different physical therapists? What you do as a whole, streaming all over your practices. Why
Well,
don't you
you
have,
know the first thing most people are gonna say, that's a HIPAA violation. That
well,
HIPAA. But you're right. We aren't creative. We're not good at marketing. We're not good at sales, and that's one of our biggest downfalls.
hey
The
Mo,
people
hey
the
Mo.
people that you see advocating
Yeah,
for physical therapy are actually people, I would say, that are building their own personal brands or their
right,
business brands.
right.
They're the ones who are creative. They're the ones who are captivating. They're the ones who are connecting with the audience, and we need more physical therapists to do so.
Yeah, but reality is the big thing in this world. You know, I mean, when people started doing reality, everything blew up in this world. So I'm just saying, I mean, I'm pretty successful because I am the patient that is being an advocate, and I don't have rules. Do you know what I mean? I don't have that all those HIPAA rules. I don't have. I can get on Twitter, make a poster. I can make a little video, tell everybody hello. I'm an advocate. I believe in physical therapy, and you know what? I get a lot of views, and I make an impact, and I have made an impact. So that's what I'm trying to say. There is ways that all of you can make an impact. I would rather see some podcasts like this. I'd rather see who the physical therapy world is when I see videos. I just right before I got on here, I looked at a tweet that you just set out is "Who are you?" was on the bottom line. You are who you are. You're a wonderful. You are who you are, and you need to get that out. It it does. It's just it's kind of like that ace, the pot of gold. Once you guys get out who you are and start advocating for yourself, you can wear shorts, you can be together more, you can speak more. I listen to you when you speak on Twitter. I listen to everything you say. You make an impact on me. It's a
Oh,
voice.
thank you. I
It's not
appreciate that. I appreciate
it's
that.
not
I
always
appreciate
it's not always professional. It's your impact that you have on people. So that's what I'm trying to say is you guys have an impact you haven't reached yet. And when you reach that, you're going to get that platform and you're going to reach more people. And when more people like me can just express my feelings and tell you how you changed my life and you made it better and how I see it every day and all the patients that are sitting in a waiting room waiting to get better and the hope that they have, that that is that's what I see in physical therapy. That's what I see as important in physical therapy. So hopefully one day that will happen.
Well,
I
thank you
don't
for
know.
being honest. And we expect everyone that comes on our show to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Be honest. There's gonna be no backlash, no cancel culture. Right,
I know.
Alex? We good?
Yeah, we this is a open forum. It's a safe forum. I mean, we don't judge, but I think what you're saying is absolutely true. I don't think that anybody can realistically um, say who's. Let me see. Is that me?
No, I don't think it's me. Is it you, Mo? It's better. There we go.
Hello?
Hello.
It might be me. I guess. I don't know what's going on.
So can I just give you an example? Just one example real quick. When I won my award, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I had a APTA um, laminate on, and it said friend. And Jerry, my friend Jerry, he was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is," and he took a picture,
Hmm.
and it was just to him, it was a big milestone, you know. And so each day, you guys gonna reach more milestones, and I just think when I talked at CSM in Colorado, it was a really big meeting. And I still hear from people that are saying, let's hear from patients and let's hear from this. So I think I think if you have more things on what impact that you have, you can do all the research in the world. But if you have people like me and other people, that is the proof of what you guys can do. What else do you need? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
You need,
I totally get it. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie. And I attended one of my first CSMs after I graduated from college, and actually that's the first time Alex and I actually met in person. It was in Anaheim, California in 2015 or 2015, right?
2015, because
Yeah,
right before Bash was born.
yeah. So I attended a session, and it was a patient panel discussion where
mhm,
patients were talking about their success with physical therapy. I was so moved by that session. Unfortunately, other CSMs after those discussions didn't get approved.
right,
And I was like, oh man. And credit to Sean Hagee, when he arranged CSM After Dark, there was a patient discussion. And a lot of us actually got some insights on how to be better clinicians.
right,
So we can
right.
actually target consumers. And we fail to do that. We just keep promoting, like, I mean, I don't know what else do we need to know on how to rehab an ACL injury or a tennis elbow or anything like that. I mean, come on, learn the soft skills to improve customer service, because we
Right.
are in a customer service industry. So I'm a huge advocate for more patient panel discussions or presentations, and I admire that you and others have taken it upon yourselves to advocate for the profession, but we should not be relying on consumers to spread our message. We need to come up as a profession to collectively be clear, be creative, be captivating, and connect with people.
That's true. But I think that there's a lot of people that like. I think that you have such an impact. This is what I'd like to see. Okay, like I said at the beginning, um, and there's movie stars that are important, basketball players, and they got all this fame and stuff. I want to see where in this world that somebody says, you know, my physical therapist is my hero. My my physical therapist is my hero. They made my life better. They changed my life. They are my true heroes. Because the work you're doing in this medical field, it matters. It's getting back to the values that we need in our world. You know, all of you matter, and that's why I speak out, is because I see it. I see it every time I go to rehab all week long. It matters. And I wish the world was like that, where they would recognize professions like yours, because it's it would be a better world if they did. And that's my opinion.
In your opinion, is there a healthcare profession that you would say does what you would want for the physical therapy profession to do, as far as like advocating for themselves and putting that message out there as to how important they are?
I think, you know, I probably, if got your question right, it was kind of staticky. I probably think through what I've gone through is probably more surgeons, even like, the surgeon, because a lot of surgeons probably want to do surgery, but a surgeon always sends you to physical therapy for 6 or 5 weeks to make sure that, like, before you have surgery. So in the two surgeries that I have, and even with my Achilles right now, I can honestly tell you that my surgeon is totally hyped up on physical therapy. He's totally hyped up. So I can honestly say you do have advocates in your medical field more than you think. I think they rely on you more than you think, and and that's also a good way to promote yourselves, because you do have that advocacy within the other medical fields, because they all send us to you, so they must believe in you a little bit. So did I get your question right? Is that kind of what you asked me?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think ultimately we need to, and I don't know what that sound is. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Alex, I mean,
it comes and goes.
Alex, it's just kidding.
Yeah, it's just, I agree with you. I think we have a problem, as Mo said, of just marketing who we are as a profession. I don't think we have a problem marketing who we are as individuals, because I think that the younger ones, the up and coming students, definitely have understood that part of the business, because ultimately that's what it is. This is a business, Yes, we're in the field to help people, but we're also in the field to make money and to live a comfortable lifestyle, whatever that may be for that individual. And I do feel like the up and coming therapists understand that, and obviously social media plays a role in that, as to how they use it to kind of improve their situation. I mean, we've had a bunch of our younger colleagues who, if you follow them on social media now, they're doing the thing. They're out there marketing themselves. They're out there promoting their services and what they do, and they're being successful with it. But we still have some people that are just kind of stuck in the old ways of, well, no, I need to go to the physician to get my referrals, and that's pretty much the only way I'm going to get my referrals. I need to buy lunch for the doctor. I need to send them some food. I need to do this, and it's an outdated approach that is still being used. Like even, Mo does quite a bit on social media for herself and promoting our podcast. I've done it before. I've seen more of an interest now in kind of doing videos and stuff, even if it's more on a personal matter. But those are the types of things that connect with people. Everything nowadays is a reel on Instagram, a TikTok video. So you've got like 30 to 45 seconds maybe, to make an impact and to get people to kind of bite, so to speak, right? So I agree wholeheartedly with you. I think we need to do as a profession better. Some may argue that that's possibly a responsibility of the APTA, and to how they could factor into that as our national association. But it's hard. I believe that on a general scale to really put out that kind of a campaign when we're so different, right? Like Mo and I do home health. The PT that you have worked with, I'm assuming, is an outpatient physical therapist. So there's going to be some differences as to how the impact is made. The impact that Mo and I make in somebody's home is going to be probably a little different, not more or less of an impact, just a different impact as to somebody may have with you in outpatient, or somebody may have in a rehab, or somebody may have in an inpatient. There's just so different. So I think it's still challenging, but I think the way that it unites us all is what you're doing, which is putting out the patient story, because ultimately that's all that matters. If we don't get anybody better, if we don't get you better, if your therapist didn't help improve your life, you would not be sitting here now, and you wouldn't be out, blowing the horn for our profession to say how good we were, because you wouldn't have had that impact. So, as great as the campaign can be, I think it still goes back to what you initially said when we started the podcast, which was the 3 values that you feel that each therapist should have. And that's making that human connection. And a lot of times I think we get lost again in all these things, cool things that we can do, but if it doesn't help you, it doesn't matter.
You don't know how many, like, I've been on the news, radio, all kinds of things. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So is it my microphone, or is it going?
Yeah, I believe because the connection, because you're on your phone and you're in Colorado or Mountain Time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
I think it's just that I just see through all my work that I've done that people want to give, they want to help, patients want to have patients. I can say to somebody, I was on the news for a concert I did, and I was walking into a store, and this lady says, "Oh, I saw you on the news. I believe in physical therapy." I mean, why I do what I do is I believe in student funding, but I also believe in what I really truly believe, and what I truly believe is, and it's crazy because I never really thought I'd be like this in my life, that something would mean so much important to me. But I can honestly sit here and tell both of you, truly in my heart, I believe in physical therapy. I believe what it does. I love the hope I see in people. I love watching people get better. I love what it does and how it affects people's lives. And I'm not going to stop, being an advocate, because I think one day you're going to reach your goals, and one day more people are going to be able to speak, and one day people will recognize you because of the work you do for the patient, and that it will happen because it's happening now. Your patients are basically football players. Like Dave Newton is a really good friend of mine, and he's one of my favorite stories because he was a football player, and physical therapy helped him, and he became a physical therapist. I went to physical therapy the other day. There's a student in there that was a patient. She was a patient, and it helped her so much she became a student, and she's going to become a physical therapist. So your impact on people is amazing. You just don't hear the stories, and that's the stories that got to get out, because that's what I'm trying to tell you through this whole thing. Your stories are so amazing. They're better than movies. They're better than
So you see,
movies.
stories are what connects people, and a lot of
Right,
people who became students and eventually physical therapists only knew
right,
about the profession because they were once injured, or
right,
a loved one of
right,
theirs was injured, so they saw physical therapy at work. But Alex, I don't care the setting that you are in. Ultimately, each physical therapist's goal is to help the patient move better or live a better quality of life. So the
right,
message is central. We have
right,
a central message, whether
right,
you're in pelvic health, whether in pediatric, whether in geriatric, orthopedic. Somebody has a problem and they're coming to physical therapy.
right, right.
So it's a central message no matter what. So yes, the APTA has the biggest platform for us to do the promotion, but from this one phone, I mean, how many followers do you have? How many followers do I have? How many followers does Colleen have? Think about all the other therapists that we know. You can reach over 50,000 person in one tweet.
Right. I have over 500 and some 600 physical therapists that follow me. In 2 years,
It's impressive.
I've become more friends with physical therapists talking to me because I believe. You know, I know you guys. I get to see you. You get to finally meet me, but you're in my life. I look forward to seeing and what you have to say all the time. You know, because you believe. And I thank you for saying that, because it is your message, and it's not. I know people that aren't in the APTA, that are physical therapists, and then there's APTA, I guess, and there's different things. But I do know that every physical therapist all believe in the same thing. They all believe in their profession. They all believe in their profession, or they wouldn't be doing it. So that's why I'm saying you're better together, because believing in the same thing, you can conquer so much. You can conquer it. You just got to figure out the way. That's all. I mean,
So
look how many people I got to dance with me, and I was just, and you even
yeah,
danced with me.
that's true. But Coco, I'm gonna throw a wrench at you, okay?
Um,
So you were in an outpatient setting. I'm not sure if it was a one-on-one session that you had, or you were in a clinic that had multiple therapists and multiple patients at the same time. You seem like someone who likes to be around other people. So
mhm.
you probably like a more group atmosphere versus like the one-on-one treatment.
Okay.
Um, but you did mention something that I didn't overlook, the time spent with the patient. So what's your view as a consumer on double booking and triple booking and being seen by a tech versus a licensed clinician?
Um, well, I've been in both. I've been in a physical therapy that was a physical therapist that was just me and that physical therapist. Now
Mhm.
I'm in a room with a whole bunch of physical therapists. You know what I mean? And I see a whole different atmosphere. I think the being in a bigger room, um, I like it better because I see that they work together. I see how they're working together. I see how patients look at each other and work together. I see a whole bunch of stuff like that. But personally, I it doesn't really, to me, I can't say that it's the experience. I think you can have a whole room full of people and they might not have a good impact. You can have one person that might have a good impact. So that's what I'm saying is I can be have a good attitude and everything, but unless that environment, no matter what it is a good environment, doesn't matter if it's one or 15 people. It has to come from the person that's giving the care, or the 10 people that are giving the care, and it has to come with the right attitude. Because I saw a physical therapist one time that was so cookie cutter that I was just like, oh my god, this is horrible. But and I see people that have personality. So if I'm answering your questions right, I can't really answer that honestly, because I might do good with one person, I might do good with 10 people. But ultimately it's the positivity, it's the attitude,
It's the
what
experience,
the
as you said.
experience.
It's the
It's the
experience. So
experience.
that's basically what I wanted to get out of you, because I see so many therapists bitch and complain about this setting or that setting and stuff like that. And ultimately it comes down to the person who is receiving on the receiving end of that experience.
Right.
If you value being surrounded by multiple therapists and multiple patients and have a good experience, that's value to you.
Right.
Well, who am I to be arguing and saying, well, my setting is better because I'm with somebody one on one? I could be with somebody one on one and still give them a lousy experience.
Right.
So it's all about the recipient. And that's
Right.
why we need to be hearing more from consumers. That's just my
Right.
take.
So you got it out of me. I did it. You got me through. It's so hard. It's so hard to say in 30 minutes why you have the passion you have and why you believe in what you believe in. And the best thing about this podcast is just that last question, because we finally got to a point where I can say anything, but what it really does come down to is that experience and what impact it has on you. So I hopefully that I know that that experience is helping thousands of people in this world. I hope physical therapy, their physical therapists um, focus on that a little bit more. And just remember that you can have everything in this world, that your patient success in that relationship will reward you more than anything. It will. I tell you, when I received that award and all you guys recognized me because I believe in you, it wasn't the award. It was because you believed in me and you believed in what I was doing, and you believed in yourselves. That's what that award was about. And Mo, thank you for your support on that.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Karen Litzy was the one who initiated it, so
Yeah.
I thank her for making the clarion call to the rest of us to join in. So,
Yeah.
and I know you've been on her podcast. We have to get Karen on the podcast. So,
Yeah.
Karen, this is our invitation.
Come on,
Personal
Karen.
invitation.
I'm sorry about my phone, and I'm sorry about the noise. I'm sorry.
No problem. Well, and speaking of experiences, this has been an amazing experience, Colleen. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. It's very nice and refreshing to hear from the other side, the patient, the consumer, what it is that we need to do and what it is that we are doing well, because it's not all bad, but ways that we can improve and ways that we can continue to grow our profession, to take it to the point where, like you said, that we all ultimately care about what we do. We care about our profession, because if not, we wouldn't be doing it. So thank you very much for coming out with us. It was an amazing experience, an amazing time, a lot of good things to take away from this conversation with you. And yeah, really, really appreciate you coming out and being with us tonight. All right. And as always, everybody, thank you very much. Continue to support, continue to like, share, retweet, all that good stuff. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot to Mo and myself as we get rolling here on season 2. A lot of more fun, cool conversations that we plan on having this season with you guys. And for now,
stay tuned for next week. We have a surprise guest. Well, we will announce it, but someone who has been in the mental health profession and has a little bit of Twitter controversy recently, but she's a licensed social worker by trade. So stay tuned for next week. Thank you again for supporting us. Have a good evening, everybody. Thank you, Colleen, Coco. I'm going to be calling you Coco from now on, okay?
Thank you. And everybody catch the Masters. My man's on this week.
Is Tiger playing?
Yeah, he playing.
Oh, gosh. Time for him to retire. All right. See you guys next week. Catch you guys on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all social media. Bye.